Hello everyone, this is Vortex, and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy 1. In our last episode, we slip-slided our way through the nefarious Cavern of Ice, and after being waylaid by several tough new monsters and cracking open a number of hidden treasure chests, we found a strange pyramid-shaped item called the Levistone here on the second basement level of the Cavern of Ice. So now that we have that item in our possession, let's go ahead and take a quick look at it here within our key items list. And as you can see, the Levistone is a mysterious rock that floats in the air. Surely the floating properties of the Levistone will be useful to us somewhere, and we'll actually be finding out where that is in today's episode. But before we go off in search of that location, let's first of all take a quick look at the monster that was guarding the Levistone in our bestiary. It can be found at number 75 in the list, the Evil Eye, which had the potential to be a pretty tough monster had it not had such low HP. Only 162 HP, and our light warrior friends had the chance to knock it out before it even had the chance to attack with its repertoire of nasty abilities. So pretty easy monster, and if you want to take the time to fight it again, you can just keep walking right on that tile where Cloud is located over and over again and earn more valuable experience and gil. But I think I'm going to go ahead and try to get out of the Cavern of Ice. Looks like we have no choice but to step on one of these cracks again to get out of here. So let's go ahead and fall back down below to the third basement level. And we're going to have no choice but to fight more undead on this tile ahead. So I'm going to step on that tile and take care of this battle, and I'll be right back. Well, fortunately for me, I got a preemptive strike, so there was nothing to that battle. Alright, we want to make our way down to the southeastern corner of this room like we did last time to find the staircase going back up to the first basement floor. Locke, Lena, and Vivi are now level 33 after that battle with some blood bones. Cloud still lagging behind thanks to his untimely defeat not too long ago, but he'll probably be leveling up after the next battle, I would suppose. Almost to the staircase. It is just right up ahead here, and yes, Cloud did level up to level 33 after that battle with some mind flayers. So let's step on back up to the first basement level and get out of this chilling cave. The exit's just up ahead here. That was more cockatrice birds, more mummies in that battle. Yeah, I'm sure the Light Warriors cannot wait to get out of here so they don't have to deal with those cockatrice birds anymore. And they can make their way to a warmer climate. Post-haste, I'm sure, as soon as they get out of here. Oh man, that was more of those cockatrice birds, along with more mummies. And Vivi's just about out of MP, so I'm going to have to use a tent as soon as I get out of here. And it looks like Pisco Demons are going to be the final thing that I'm going to have to fight here in the Cavern of Ice. We make our way to the staircase and finally back out onto the overworld here. And Vivi only has 9 MP to spare after that trip, so it's time for a much needed tent. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of those tents from my inventory and save my game, and once I take care of that, we will continue onward. Well, actually, on second thought, I decided to use one of the 4 cottages that I had in my inventory to restore more HP and MP, and upon doing so, found that all 4 of my characters were completely restored back to full health. Alright, very nice. So, now it is time for us to put that newly acquired Levistone to use, but where in the world do we do so? Well, if you wanted to, you could make your way all the way back to the village of Elfheim and go visit the sage that's located in the southwestern corner of the town. He's going to have a vision too, and if you talk to him, he says, by the power of the Levistone, a great sail rises into the sky from the sand sea below the Crescent. Wow, now there's a clue if there ever was one. We're going to have to go look for a sand sea somewhere below the Crescent, so that pretty much tunes us towards the direction south of Crescent Lake. So let's go ahead and pull up our map here. We're currently located here at the Cavern of Ice. What we want to do is get back in our canoe and backtrack all the way down to our ship, which is located right there. And then what we want to do is sail to the south, and we want to make our way to the south of Crescent Lake. And that looks like a sand sea right there, doesn't it? Looks kind of like a desert. Well, that looks like a likely location for what the sage is talking about. So let's see if we can make our way towards that desert area. So let's start backtracking here. Now, if I'm really lucky, I might run into the Neochu here in the rivers on the way back. It's about the only river monster I lack in the bestiary, but if not, should be able to find it a little bit later on in the game. Oh, and by the way, you see that second cave over there, just off to the southeast? Well, if you're really curious what's in that cave, feel free to go check it out, but I'll be coming back to this cave a little bit later on in the game. Ah, here it is, the Neochu. I've been waiting to run into this monster to add it to the bestiary. So I guess I'm not going to have to wait till later on in the game after all. So let's just go ahead and take it out. What can we use on it? You know, I'm not sure if Quake works or not. Might as well give it a try. I don't know if an Earthquake would work well in the water or not. That might have not been a very good selection. But just to demonstrate the Quake spell, yeah, that didn't work very well, did it? Well, as you can see, the Neochu can poison one of your characters with its physical attacks. I don't know what I was thinking. Earthquake working in the water? I guess that would be more like a tsunami, wouldn't it? Oh well. Well, let's check that entry in the bestiary. And there it is. Finally, we get to fill out this row here with number 56, the Neochu, which has 344 HP. Now, it has no resistance, so apparently the Quake spell will work against it. No weaknesses at all. And let's see, I guess I can use one of my several antidotes to cure that poison from Locke. There we go. Alright, let's continue backtracking here. We're nearly back to our ship. There it is, right there. So, let's get in our ship and get a new tune to accompany us in the background, and let's head on down to the south towards the Sand Sea south of the Crescent. Just gotta love those elven sages giving us all the clues we need. Took out that shark in a couple of hits. They're getting a lot easier to fight now that I'm much higher in level. I think we're nearly there. Yep, this is it. See that desert expanse off to the northwest there? Now, in order to get there, what you want to do is park your ship right here, get back on the canoe briefly, and then veer off to the west. And that was a battle with 3 anacondas and 2 scorpions, creatures you would likely find in an Indiana Jones movie. Alright, well, we have made our way to this desert, which is called the Ryukon Desert, as you can see from your status menu here. So let's go ahead and step up into the desert, and we are going to be treated to a cutscene featuring the Light Warriors, and they're going to be surrounded by the Levistone, which is floating in the air, and its magical properties are going to make something buried deep in the desert come floating up as well. What in the world could it be? A great sail? Aha! Well, that looks like a new vessel for the Light Warriors to use. Something with propellers. Very cool. That, my friends, looks like a zeppelin of sorts. Something we can use to take to the skies. And as that comes floating up, the desert sands come back together, and the Light Warriors obtain an airship, a brand new vehicle for transportation. Very cool. So we can now fly the friendly skies, and we get a brand new tune to accompany that. So, we finally get the airship here in Final Fantasy 1. And the great thing about the airship is no monsters will attack you while you're flying in the skies. So now that we have our airship, it is time to visit our next destination. And in order to do that, we want to visit a chain of islands. For starters, let's go ahead to the full map here. So what we want to do is fly off to the northwest, and we want to visit this chain of islands right up in here next. So let's head that way and see what awaits us off in the northern lands and in that chain of islands. Now, if you're like me, you might get lost pretty easily, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up my map here again. Okay, we're still a pretty good ways away. Still a lot more expanse to cross before we get to that chain of islands. Aha, we have finally made it. So let's go ahead and park our ship here, and we see that there's a hole in the ground here. So let's go see what waits inside. Welcome to the Dragon Caves. Wow, I wonder if we're going to run into any dragons in here. Probably so, but we're also going to run into some treasure, which will be available here in some of these chambers. Just hope none of the dragons get angry at us for stealing their gil. We get 2,750 gil out of that treasure chest. How about 2,000 more gil right there? And treasure chest number 3 contains more gil, 1,455. Still more treasure to get, though, off to the west here. Inside this chamber. Ah, there's one of those red critters walking around. Red dragon with blue wings. And this dragon says only the truly brave can obtain a token of their courage. So apparently there's a token somewhere that can prove one's courage. And there is 1,520 gil inside that treasure chest. 2,750 gil in treasure chest number 2. We keep making more money. There's 9,500 gil. And in this 4th treasure chest, we get an X potion. Pretty nice little item that could come in handy. Alright, let's go ahead and exit here, back up the stairs. That's only the first in several of chain of islands here that we want to visit, so let's head up to the northwest here to visit the next one. I guess we can go visit this one next, so let's go on inside. And inside here we're going to find a dragon who says, once, long ago, there was an age when man and dragon lived together. So I guess something happened and men and dragons no longer live together in peace. Alright, let's go to the west a little ways. Oops, didn't quite make it there. Let me try to land right here. There we go. Alright, we've got 2 caves to check out on this particular island. And the first one is probably going to surprise you. It's not a dragon cave, but it's the entrance to another bonus dungeon called the Hellfire Chasm. So if you're wondering where the Hellfire Chasm is located, well, you will find it in this cave here on this particular island. And there's an elf standing here, and he says the heat surrounding the door is gone. But now that our prince has become king, no one is likely to enter anytime soon. Yeah, there was a statue of Merilith guarding the entrance here, but once Merilith was defeated, that statue disappeared and the Hellfire Chasm became accessible. So we will definitely be coming back here a little bit later in the game to make our way through that particular bonus dungeon. Alright, let's go back inside some more caves to find some more treasure. So let's go inside this chamber here to find a couple of more dragons skulking around. And this dragon says, it is a rare thing to have humans visit us here. If you are valiant warriors, you should speak with Bahamut, our king. Aha! We're going to find the first appearance of Bahamut in the Final Fantasy series And apparently he's the king of the dragons here in Final Fantasy 1. So we're going to have to go visit him pretty soon. This dragon says the dragons of the Cardian Islands have no love of senseless killing. Well, neither do I. And these are called the Cardian Islands, it would seem. Alright, we're going to find a cottage in this treasure chest. 500 gil in the second treasure chest, and I think it was an elixir that I picked up over there in that other treasure chest. Alright, I think we're done getting all the treasure on this particular island. Oh, there's another dragon. He says, once, long ago, the Northland was filled with beautiful shrines and towering mechanical castles. So very long ago. Are those the ones that fell into ruin? Well, we'll be finding out before too long, I'm sure. Still not done visiting all of the islands here. There's several more to go visit. Actually, a couple more with several more caves to walk through. I think 3 more caves is all we have left. So let's go down below here. And actually, we want to use the B button dash here because this is a long hallway. Takes a while to get down that hallway if you just walk. So let's zoom up to the north here. And we find that this particular cave opens and there's lots of pretty nice decorations. Looks like crosses here. So this probably is going to be the throne room here, I'm assuming. Yep, indeed it is. This dragon says this is the chamber of Bahamut, the Dragon King. Mind your tongue. Oh, I'm not going to backsass him, don't worry. I'm not that brave. And this particular dragon says the Dragon King looks within to measure a person's true courage. Well, if I just go up here and tell him off, wouldn't that be a sign of courage? Well, here is the Dragon King. He says, I am the Dragon King Bahamut. I confer honor upon those whose strength and courage are true. Return to me with a token of your courage. Alright, so it looks like Bahamut has given the Light Warriors a challenge. He wants them to go off in search of a token of their courage. Now where on earth might we find such an item? We've got a whole world to explore here, and we don't have any clues. He just tells us to go find a token. It could be anything. Well, maybe we can get some more clues from some of his lackeys here. Let's go up into this cave next. Yep, there are some more lackeys in here. This dragon says, have you spoken with our king Bahamut? The Dragon King confers a great honor upon the brave. Wow, what could that honor be? Lots more gil? Or could it be something even better? And this dragon says, it is customary for a dragon to venture northeast to the Citadel of Trials. There, he must test his mettle by claiming a token of courage from within. Aha! There's the clue we're looking for, everyone. A place off to the northeast called the Citadel of Trials. So mark that down on your to-do list. Now we don't know what the token of courage is going to be because this dragon says the form the token of courage takes changes with the times. Do not let its appearance deceive you. So it's probably going to seem pretty mundane once we find it. So we pretty much know what we need to do next. Now before we go off in search of that citadel, we've got one more place I think we can visit. Yeah, there it is right there. So let's go inside this cave here to find yet more treasure. I guess we'll go get the treasure in the southern chamber first. There are 2 treasures in here. The first treasure chest contains a dry ether, and the second treasure chest contains a gold needle. Alright, let's head back to the north here and check out this chamber here, and inside we will find a tent. So I believe that is all the treasure we can find here on the Cardian Islands. We've had the honor of meeting Bahamut for the first time in the Final Fantasy series, and he sent us on an errand to go find a token of courage, which apparently can be found to the northeast in a place called the Citadel of Trials, and we're going to find that Citadel of Trials in our next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy 1. So thank you very much for watching today's episode, everyone. Hope you found it helpful and enjoyable. This has been Vortex, your host, hoping that you have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.